Hello and welcome as always to Confessions of a Refashionista. I'm Refashionista Sherry and I am here to show you how to live affordably, sustainably, because why? Being eco-friendly shouldn't cost the earth. So as a lot of you know, I recently moved and I had to downsize. So I am constantly on the hunt and looking for things I can upcycle into relatively attractive storage solutions. And because I had a couple pieces, two little pieces left over from last week's made out of wood tutorial, plus I had a single placemat for whatever reason, one single bamboo placemat, plus the weather has decided that spring is not coming and it's snowing. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to stay in today and create something with my leftover bits and bobs. And I kind of need some little storage because my nail polish collection is getting out of hand, and this is my kind of overflow basket, and I don't like it. It doesn't look nice. And yeah, so that's what we're going to make today. We are going to make a nice little storage box out of a single bamboo placemat and some leftover bits from my last tutorial. So let's get making.
This is Confessions of a Refashionista.
For this simple upcycled storage project, all you need is your bamboo placemat, a couple of blocks of wood that are the same size, and your trusty glue gun. So my blocks of wood are the leftover pieces from my upcycled bed slat countertop cover. I shall link the tutorial below so you can go make one yourself. And yeah, these are the only two pieces that I have left from creating that from my bed slats. And so why not upcycle them into something else that's just as awesome? So they're very plain though, so I think I'm gonna bust out my no drip stain again and, you know, give them a nice wood stain so to pretty them up a little bit. Now before, when I've used this stain, I've always used a sponge brush, but today I'm gonna do something a little bit different. And that's why I'm wearing my gloves so my hands don't get stained. And I just have a scrap of jersey fabric here. So I'm gonna dip it in, and again, as I always say, I love this stain so much because it is a gel and it doesn't drip. And if you've ever used wood stain, you know it is super drippy, so this is awesome. And yeah, I'm just gonna kind of rub that right into the wood, like so. And hopefully it's not going to take so long to dry. And this also, I don't know if you can see that, really brings up the wood grain because I'm kind of forcing the stain right into the grain. Ooh, that rhymes. And yeah, so I'm just going to continue and see you when it's done. That looks fantastic. And yeah, just going to let it get totally dry and come back, and then we can put everything together with this super quick and awesome project. Alrighty, my little wood blocks are pretty much dry. Not totally dry, but whatever. It's dry enough. And yeah, there's definitely a good side and a bad side here because this was the side that had the staples in it. When it was bed slats originally. So I have my placemat with the right side facing down, and with this one there's a definite right and wrong side you can see here. And I'm going to take my pieces of wood and make sure that the good side is going to be facing outward. And then I'm just going to kind of put it on the edge here of the placemat and simply fold this part up like that and try to hold everything together. Ouch, and burn my hand on the glue gun. Okay, it's starting to kind of look like a little basket. Now I gotta grab the other side and pull it over to make sure that, yes, look at that, that's just about perfect. Now, you may have to kind of do this, trying to get straight here, may have to do this a few times to arrange your wood blocks exactly where they need to be. So before we get started gluing, I thought it might be a good idea to share the kind of measurements of all of my materials here with you. So my placemat is 44 by 30 centimeters, and my wood blocks are 9 by 6.5 centimeters, and I'm going to position them about 11 centimeters up from the front of my placemat. Now, luckily, I actually have, you know, the bamboo lines here that I can use as a guide because I'm not a measuring person, as you know. So my glue gun, which is very burny, is ready now. And basically all I'm going to do is first pop some lovely glue on the bottom. And then just stick it in place, and then repeat with the other one, again making sure that my kind of not so nice looking side is facing inward, and make sure I get it in the right spot. Does that happen to you where, you know, you're so concentrated on something that you end up totally gluing things the wrong way? It happens to me way too often. Okay, now we're gonna do the front part here, and I really am just gonna kind of saturate. You know what? And I gotta go grab glue sticks. Put a little bit there, and a whole bunch of there, and a little bit more there. Alrighty. And now I'm gonna fold this up and stick it in place. Ta-da! And look, we have our front and side kind of walls of our little storage box basket. It's working. It's working. Okay, and now I'm going to put the glue here on the actual placemat because of course it's not going to go the full length there. And on the other side as well. And then secure that into place. And the last bit here is just this part. And you know, we're like seriously nearly done. And I need another glue stick. And finally, I'm just going to carefully push this into place and kind of lean on it a little bit. Yeah, and you know what? That's pretty much it. If you know, you can put stuff in there now, you're pretty much done. How nice does that look on the sides? But yeah, I'm not going to be done because of course I have to add a little something here to the front. So I'm going to go check my button stash and I shall return. I'm sure I have shared this before, but it's always worth sharing. This is my little button stash here, and this adorable little box I actually got at a garage sale for, I think it was about 10 cents, and it has this cute little handle, and then I store all of my buttons here in, you know, just cleaned out, I believe these are olive jars. And they're all color coordinated, and yeah, it's just a neat, tidy little way to store my buttons. So you may be wondering, why do I need a button? Well, I just want to put like a little button here on the front, and then that way, you know, I can add a little closure if I want to. And, yeah, but the problem with having such an extensive button collection is, you know, narrowing it down. So I kind of narrowed it here to these 4, and like I like that. And I know I'm not ever going to use this for anything because it's a weird kind of fuzzy button. This one actually is like quite awesome as well because it's pretty much the same color family. But then also this one is just like a simple wooden button, but you know what? Nah, I don't like that one. And then yeah, this kind of cool one here. But I'm not sure which one I want to go with. I think actually I might go with this one because it's really matchy and it looks classy and it's about the same color here as the stain. So let's go with that one. So I've just got some embroidery thread and an embroidery needle, and I have marked out where I want it pretty much centered. And yeah, I'm just gonna basically knot it on, do a couple stitches through, and then tie it on. Because again, this is, you know, kind of sewing through bamboo. So, so we're not gonna do any proper stitching here. And now I have a nice little handle, but I think I'm also going to put maybe a little loop here so I can actually close it up. So back to looking in my stash to see if I have maybe a little piece of leather or some thick yarn to see if I can sort that out. So here is another little bit of my stash show and tell for you. I've had this box for literally years, I think since like 2014, 2013, 2014, and it actually moved internationally with me from Germany. This has all of my little jewelry bits, and 99% of this is actually just, you know, findings and upcycled bits that I have been holding on to. The other kind of 1% is, you know, these little kind of crafty things that you get at the dollar store or the Euro shop in Germany. And yeah, so I mean, like, look, this is here, a bag from the drugstore in Germany. DM. And here is just the remains of the leather bits. Oh my goodness, I haven't looked at this for so long. That I used to create my little mini book pendants. So I shall link that tutorial. That is our definite oldie but goodie. And as you can see, I still have pieces of leather left from that project from years ago. What is this? Oh, another bag from Germany. And in here, aha, this, oh wow, this is amber actually, and it was a vintage necklace that actually came apart, unfortunately, because it was so very, very vintage, and I have held on to it because I just don't know what to do with all of these wonderful pieces of amber. But if you have an idea, let me know down below. We shall get through. Let's keep going. Just random here beads and stuff that, you know, a necklace breaks and I hold on to the stuff. Oh, a bunch of zipper bits that I shall eventually make into something. But I think here, you can see, I just, so much stuff that I hold on to, but it is all very neat and tidy, and I do know where everything is, which is how I know that I do have these cute little, I think these are faux suede, little kind of necklace faux suede leather thingies. And I think that actually, just grab this, perfect, is going to look great. So let's create that loop. So my kind of goal here is to create a loopy that can go around this button and you know, hold it in place. So I think I'm just going to try to maybe tie the faux suede through this bit on the bamboo here, and yeah, just make sure I give it enough slack that I can still open it up. So I tried a bunch of different things to try to force this through this delicate bamboo here to tie it off on the inside, and nothing was going to work. It was going to actually end up breaking through the bamboo. So I just actually decided, you know what, I'm gonna do the simple solution. And yeah, I just put a, blob of gun glue there, and it works fine. So sometimes, spending that extra half an hour searching around trying to do it the way you want to isn't really worth it. And it's okay to take the easy way out sometimes, because this works perfectly fine. It's, not gonna go anywhere. Yeah, so yeah, take the easy way out sometimes. It's okay to do that. La! My nail polish overflow basket is now empty. Hooray! And that's because everything is fitting in here perfectly, plus there is room for more. But I don't need any more, right? I am telling myself I don't need any more. You don't need any more nail polishes. Okay. So this is now going to live sitting on top of the other baskets that I had actually made years ago in Germany. I made bamboo baskets, and yeah, come on, awesome. So there it is. Make them for yourself. Use them in your bathroom. Use them in your kitchen. They store a whole bunch of stuff. You can even see here the ones from Germany. I use bigger placemats, so they do hold even more than this one, but you can stack them. They're fantastic. And yeah, as always, for loads more tips, tricks, and rockin' Refashionista tutorials, head on over to refashionistasherry.com. And while you're there, please, please, please share your fave tutorials with your online circles, and let's get everyone living a more upcycled, refashionista, sustainable lifestyle. Plus, yeah, check out my Patreon and all the fab extras and perks you get over there. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. What else am I supposed to say? Oh yeah, I'm on TikTok, Refashionista Sherry, so check me out over there. Follow me on social media, all that good stuff. And if you have any requests that you would like me to try to transform something or refashion or whatever, leave them in a comment down below and I shall do my very best. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I'll catch ya on the zigzag.